Hi everyone, welcome back to the Founders Chat. We're super excited to be back with the second edition or second episode of this holiday edition of the Founders Chat. This time I have the honor to interview Abhi on what the year has been for him. So welcome Abhi, thanks for joining. How are you doing today?
Excited for this conversation. I feel like because we haven't done this in such a long time, actually bringing this back is fun. And interviewing you was really fun last week, so I'm excited for this conversation. I haven't thought through what I'm going to talk about, but I'm excited for us to chat.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the beauty of it too, right? Like right before we did our interview, we just decided on the questions, and I feel like we want to share like the rawness of the work that we do and as transparent and as honest as possible. So I guess that's cool that you didn't come prepared. You know the drill. You know the drill today. So we are going to be going through like what we do at Pinwatch usually when we reflect on any of the programs that we're closing or the year behind us. We like to use the format called Rose, Thorn, and Bud. Rose is something that was a highlight from the year before or any program that we are evaluating. Thorn is the challenges that we had, and Bud is something that we look forward to. So as you know the drill, we're going to start with the roses. But for the sake of time, tell us one highlight or one rose that marked your 2024.
Absolutely. Last time you talked a lot about people and how the team is actually growing, and obviously that reflects on how the program is going. And I think the people front of it has been quite crucial. So I want to start by saying that was definitely a shared highlight for me as well. I think thinking a little bit in terms of some of the work that I do on a day-to-day basis, I feel like partnership is another piece where it felt like it was a big highlight for us to actually work with some really interesting partners this year. I can think of multiple different organizations. I'll just mention a few here. We had a really exciting partnership with the Coffee Quality Institute to be able to bring producers to the Women Powered Coffee Summit, 10 producers, and they were involved in a sponsorship to help make that happen. And as an institution that's been in the space for so long and has driven a lot of conversation, it was really exciting to be able to actually form that partnership and then see it into fruition. So that was exciting. I think in Mexico, a lot of our partnership around the Women Powered Coffee Summit was based off of local relationships. And so as much as we did a lot of kind of sponsorship and fundraising from, the US or from Europe and other places, it was equally matched by local partnerships. And so when I talk about partnership, I'm not just kind of talking about, external partnerships, also the local partnerships that play a pretty significant role in helping us achieve a lot of our goals as an organization. The other piece that comes in play is also how we've been working with coffee companies as partners. And so I know that we have worked for several years with Falcon Coffee at this point, and Falcon Specialty has been a big partner in helping not only make certain aspects of the program happen, but actually the entire effort that we have, from the training efforts to market linkages to the summit. Their team has been extremely involved, and this year it kind of took a different step as well. Similarly, we brought in a new partner in Coffee Circle, which is a Berlin-based coffee company, which obviously I'm excited about as well. And they came on board to help us kind of grow our program in Colombia and in Mexico as well. And so, I could probably mention a lot of other partnerships, and I would love to actually spend time kind of discussing it. But in a big kind of rose way, a lot of these partnerships, whether they are more institutional partners or they're local partners or they're coffee companies that are coming at different levels of working together, I think a lot of what we are able to achieve as an organization is a result of these partnerships. So I'd love to put that at kind of the core of what was a highlight for me this year at BV.
Yeah, that's super great. I think especially because we get asked a lot of the times how such a small team like ours get to do so much within, a short period of time. And I feel like that is usually the result of the partnerships that we form, not only the financial and funding partners, right? A lot of the local partners that you're referring to also refer to organizations like ICAFE and local institutions that have come on board with their team to make sure that our work can be done with their agronomists, their research. So many volunteers that came to review the grant application, that SIT grants that we each year give, and I think a lot of that is a result of partnership. So that was a very beautiful reflection, and I definitely resonates with me as well. Thanks for sharing. So looking back, what was maybe the hard part? What was the hard, like the challenging part, the thorny part of the year? It can be anything, work related, but also obviously personal. Yeah, tell us a bit more about what was challenging for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, as an organization, I think the biggest challenge that we have been sitting with, and I think continue to sit with, is how do we grow deeply in the communities where we're already working and the partnerships that we already have, while we kind of expand the scope of where we can offer the programs and services. And it sounds like one of those like good problems to have in a way, because as we're entering, like we just finished our 5th year of operating as a nonprofit, and last video you talked about how we're kind of entering this really exciting phase, and we are entering this exciting phase, and we're having to learn how to be more strategic about how we grow, right? When we talk about scaling, it doesn't just mean that we continue enrolling more producers into the program or continue expanding the number of people that go to any of these different initiatives that we run, but rather focus on the results that come out of that for the participants. And sometimes that means saying no or even scaling down certain things so that we can focus on deepening certain other elements of our program. And so I think the piece that was challenging this year is because we're going from this 5th year to what I would consider maybe this maturity phase or towards this growth phase of an organization. We had a lot of these conversations, and I think we have struggled a little bit in a good way to kind of figure out the friction and how we come out of that friction of do we keep expanding into different communities? We started working in Colombia this year, for example. We're looking into working in a few more regions of Latin America next year. And as we do that, how do we make sure that our core programs are not struggling or suffering? And I think we did a really good job this year as a team. And of course, it came with the fact that our team grew a little bit as well. But it also means sometimes saying no to opportunities that look so exciting, so interesting. We would have, 5 years ago, dreamt of a partnership of these sorts, right? So learning how to kind of balance that has been an interesting challenge for sure. And then perhaps just like adding a little bit to that as well, how do we make sure that our team can balance, their personal life with the work that we do? I think sometimes social impact leaders or just folks in the social impact space like stretch themselves a little bit too thin, and budgets are limited. There isn't as much opportunity for growing our team as much as we would have loved to grow a bit more, and so we're still kind of stretching ourselves a little bit too much. And so thinking about that, I think Sungi, you talked about it beautifully the last episode of this, so not going to go deeply into it, but I think it does affect a little bit of the people part of it as well. So trying to kind of balance the work and the mission with individual kind of development and well-being, I think is something that continues to be a challenge as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Especially, I think, our mission as an organization is to build thriving businesses, but at the same time, the foundation of it is that thriving businesses will support thriving livelihood as we all, believe in. And I think it's oftentimes, as you mentioned, so easy to forget when you let your passion drive that you kind of remove yourself from that mission and forget that you also need to be taken care of. So I think that reflection is a beautiful one, especially as we end the year. I think something that we always try to do is making sure that we have enough paid time off for everyone, because I think we are quite bad at taking time off on our own voluntarily, right? Like I think a lot of us actually don't take time off because we let different projects and programs and different things that we want to do each year drive our calendar. And I think it's something that organization like us at this point can do, of like, making sure that people do take some time off, and hopefully more of us can take more time off to take care of each other and ourselves. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing. So now looking into a little bit more into the future, what are you excited about that's to come in 2025? What's your buzz looking into the year?
Yeah. Oh man, it's December now, and so we're looking towards the last month of the year, and it's exciting and nerve-wracking because there's so much that we want to try to do next year. And as much as we're getting better at saying no, we still are saying yes to a lot of different opportunities, right? So it's filled with so many different exciting opportunities, and without maybe giving away a lot about it, I do think that our market access initiative, and I think how we're creating opportunities for the coffee to get to the market, I think is really exciting. If you were to ask me like what makes Bean Voyage stand out significantly as another compared to like any other institution that's working in this space in this kind of phrase, is that we are providing this end-to-end program, starting from training to seed funding, peer mentorship, the summit, and then market access. And I do think that the market access piece really makes a big difference in how we are able to deliver on everything else that happens beforehand, right? It makes sure that we can, ensure that there's access for the coffee to international markets, to really higher paying markets, to long-term relationships as well. And so I think we're growing that more in 2025. I'm sure more details will come in the upcoming months ahead for you all. But and for that, do check out our Instagram. I think we'll be doing some more sharing about it. But the work that's going behind it is very intentional, and the way we're thinking about how we're getting resources to make it happen, or which kind of partners are we working with, or how do we expand this program for more producers to be a part of it. I think all of these questions, how we're building our standard process to make it happen in a way that's efficient, but also at the same time, it's Bean Voyage, right? It's based on relationship, it's rooted in community. So I think all of that process that's happening behind the scenes, where it's like the team is doing a lot of this work, is really exciting. I'm looking forward to that next year. And I think the other piece of this is that as this continues to evolve, the rest of the initiatives are evolving with it too. And so I think I'm looking forward to how we train producers on different topics. And we're starting to kind of introduce different topics into our programming, focusing on diversification, but also farm renovation. The same with how we're bringing topics to the summit and what the curation of the summit looks like. So I think it has an interesting kind of ripple throughout our entire organization, and that's something that is quite exciting looking into next year as well. I'm going to be biased if I didn't say that I'm not excited for the summit, because it feels like a gathering, a reunion with a bunch of really incredible people. It's like friends getting together. I have relationships with some folks who come to the summit every single year for the last 2 years that I just like look forward to. And it's personally so exciting to put it together. The work that goes into it is intense, but then getting there and then just connecting with people, connecting people to other people, seeing the ripple that comes out of it that we've seen in the last couple of years now is just thrilling. So as an organization, I'm really excited for the market part and just the ripples. But personally, I'm also really looking forward to going to the summit and participating. I feel like that's what is exciting as well. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I relate 100%, if not 1000%. I feel like Summit at times feels like it's a lot of work and it's a lot of lift, but then also at the same time feels like it's a reunion of people that really energizes you and also inspire you, right? So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. So to wrap it all up, I will do the same thing that you did to me and give you the mic back to make one call to action. So if anyone that's watching is to be part of what's exciting, what you just shared for Bean Voyage, if they were to be part of Bean Voyage's 2020, what would you say is the best way that they can do?
Yeah, I think so. It's a big month right now. It's the giving season, and we've just launched our giving season for 2025 programs. We're looking to work with around 600 producers, 600 new producers in the program across Costa Rica, Mexico, Colombia, and potentially another country that we're going to kind of share more about in the upcoming weeks. And so we're really expanding the work while also really deepening the effect and the impact that we have. But we can't really do that without the support of our community. And so we're looking for new partnerships. We're looking for individuals to support. And so if you're looking to make a gift this holiday season, we hope that you will consider Bean Voyage as an option. We are a 501c3 registered in the US. And so if you're looking to donate within the US, your donations are tax deductible. We're also registered in Costa Rica if that is an interest of sorts for people as well. We're looking to raise about $950 per producer to participate in our entire program. And so if you can contribute to make that happen, incredible. And we're also inviting folks to contribute at a level that feels right for them. And so if it makes sense for you to give, $35 to support part of a program, part of an initiative, that is extremely, extremely generous. And thank you for that. And a lot of what, does happen at Bean Village is due to individuals, due to specific people kind of showing up and saying, I would like to support. And so we also want to really thank you for making that happen. If you're likely watching this video, you've been a part of our program or part of our journey for years. And so thank you for trusting our team to deliver on the promise of impact that we have. And we hope you'll continue following along. We'll post a few more of these, I think, and so we'll continue sharing some more stories in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting folks to join our voyage. So that's a wrap. That's with that we can wrap up our second episode of the Founders Chat. As Abhi mentioned, we're gonna follow up with a couple others. We wanted to take you behind the scene with the work that we do with our team, as well as some of the strategy session that we have for end of the year. We thought this is kind of a perfect time to do so because a lot of the work right now is happening actually online, and it's a lot easier to record them on Zoom than taking a camera out to the field when we spend time in our communities that we work with. So once again, thanks for joining, and please find us in our social media. That's also like tagged below here, as well as visit our website beanvoyage.org/give if you are inclined to make a gift this holiday season. Thank you so much for tuning in and looking forward to seeing you again next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.